Where do things stand this Monday morning, Ollie?
Yeah, Tom, we're all sort of obsessed with these sort of mechanics of German politics, which we're going to learn a lot about over the next couple of weeks. But basically what needs to happen now in order for a federal election to take place is Olaf Scholz needs to call that no confidence vote himself before Parliament, which he will invariably lose, and then trigger that sort of federal election. He was trying to aim to do that in January, have the election in March. That, generally speaking, has not gone over particularly well politically, but also with the German population, which says that basically you need to do this a lot quicker. So he's opened the path to doing it potentially before Christmas. We could get the election before January. And that will clear up one of the sort of initial logistical challenges. The following question, though, Tom, is what government will actually be formed out of this? If you look at the polls right now as they stand, which I believe we have, you have the CDU under Merz doing the best out of any of the parties, but none of them, no two parties combined currently with the current polling can actually form a 50% plus government, right? And the closest you can get is CDU and the AfD, the far right, which basically every mainstream political party in Germany has refused to work with. Now, these polls could change as the days come, because now there's question of polling when there is not an actual election versus polling when there is an election. But currently, it is hard to see a path for a sort of coherent German government coming out of this election, and that will obviously change and potentially progress over the next couple of weeks. But it's not clear where that government gets formed.
Yeah, and arguably what you need right now is that coherent German government, particularly as we prepare for that Trump presidency, of course, for Germany, for Europe. And talk to us about the timing of all of this and the challenge on that front, Ollie.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. I mean, listen, we talk about a political problem in Germany, but really at the heart of this political problem is an economic problem. It was a disagreement on how to resolve Germany's economic problems that really brought down this government. It was Olaf Scholz who was really trying to do away with the debt brake and try to really put into focus all of the intense spending that needs to happen in Germany in order for it to, A, deal with this sort of broader slowdown, but also getting this sort of economy moving into the sort of next stage, into the 21st century, if you will. And the FDP's and Christian Lindner's refusal to do that is what brought down the government. Now you have the situation, though, where you have a Trump election in the United States, where you have now, by the way, the U.S. is the biggest trading partner for Germany, a very export-dependent society. According to the research from IFO, if you do get those 10% tariffs from the United States, that could mean German exports would fall by 15% to the U.S. It would mean for the auto industry that the exports to the U.S. could fall by more than 30%. And if you have any sort of idea of what the sort of relationship might be with this German government and the Trump administration, Olaf Scholz have asked Donald Trump for a call as recently as early as Wednesday. He has still not got that call. Trump has talked to a lot of people, and if we're reading any tea leaves out of the administration, you look on Twitter, as we may be doing a bit more over the coming months, and we see Elon Musk writing Olaf ist ein Narr, which means Olaf is a fool, from the sort of so if that is the tea leaf that we're reading from the Trump administration, maybe not a favorable omen coming into this presidency.